Hello, welcome to my channel. Today, I will be showing you a recap of an American thriller movie titled Salt. Spoiler alert, stay with me and enjoy. 2 years ago in North Korea, a CIA agent named Salt was detained and tortured. She claimed she wasn't a spy, but the Korean security didn't believe her and they tortured her more. The government of America processed her release. They had exchanged a Korea prisoner for her release. She met her colleague Ted by the gate of the prison, and she asked him why the CIA blew their cover to get her released. She was informed it wasn't the CIA's intention, but her boyfriend Mike was persistent. He had written several letters to the national body, and if the CIA didn't do anything, it was obvious Mike would blow the cover himself. When she met Mike outside the detention center, Mike proposed to marry her. She accepted the proposal. He promised to stay with her despite knowing she was a CIA agent. 2 years later was their wedding anniversary. Salt woke up to her husband working on his research. She prepared pancake for him and told him they would celebrate their anniversary. At work that day, she was watching some YouTube when Ted found her. They started a conversation. While they were talking, Francis, one of the CIA agents, brought some files to Salt, and Ted insisted they give Salt a break for that day. When the office work finished, she was about to leave the office with Ted when they were called back that a Russian defector Oleg had walked into their office, insisting on talking with Salt. Ted and Salt sacrificed their time and went back. When they were about to enter the investigation room, a CIA counterintelligence agent named Peabody joined them to watch the interrogation. After Oleg had been scanned thoroughly, Salt entered to talk with him. The first time Oleg made mention of immediately he saw her was that she was married. He told Salt he had cancer and right now he isn't afraid of anyone or anything again because he was dying. He was not just dying, but Russia was dying too, but they would ensure Russia doesn't die. Salt asked that he move straight to his main point because she was busy. He said he wanted to tell her a story. In 1975, Shasa, a wrestler, met a chess master, Anka. They fell in love and got married. A year after, they had a baby boy named Chenkov. A few weeks after Chenkov became sick and was hospitalized, his parent was told he was dead, and his parent buried a baby, although not him. Chenkov was taken home by an agent who had a master plan of training children to make them American agents. The plan started in 1959. When Lee Harvey, an American, migrated to Russia, he returned to America 3 years after, but he wasn't the one who returned. The one who returned was a Russian named Alec. After the Alec program set out as a success, the agent trained all the kids he got through the means he had gotten Chenkov. The kids learned the English language even before knowing the Russian language. They were instructed to be sent as a KA agent to America. Salt broke into the conversation, asked him when the story would end because she doesn't have time to waste. Oleg told her the story doesn't have a happy ending because Chenkov was adopted by an American citizen, but her adopted parents died in an accident, so he lived his life as an America. One day Agent K-12, which is Chenkov, would kill the president of Russia on the day of the American vice president's funeral. He told them that was what he wanted to inform them. Although Oleg nuclear scan shows everything was true, Ted laughed it off, wondering why a Russian agent would kill their president. But Peabody believed the story. Salt asked what Oleg wanted in return for the information, and Oleg said he only wants to help them. Salt attempted to walk out of the room. She told him she had more important things to do. Before she opened the door, Oleg said the K-12 agent was Salt, and she is a Russian agent. Again, Oleg's brain's nuclear scan showed everything he said was true. Peabody wanted to take Salt for investigation, but she asked to call her husband, insisted that the reason Oleg mentioned her marriage at first was that they targeted her husband. She made a call to Mike, but he didn't pick up. Peabody ordered that Salt is locked in the investigation room while he and Ted talked about what to do precisely. Salt insisted she wasn't a Russian agent. While the securities were seeing Oleg off the office, they were attacked by Oleg in the elevator. The red signal was circulated in the whole office and Salt used the opportunity. She asked to urinate, and she was let go from the investigation rooms and she sought to escape. Peabody was in the security room watching the CCTV footage when he saw Salt had escaped. He sent agents to find her and Oleg. It seemed as though the CIA weren't interested in finding her husband, so she decided to find him herself. Everywhere she hid, she noticed she was being caught on the CCTV. She took a fire extinguisher and blurred out all CCTVs. Peabody took the team to attack her, but she overshadowed with the fire she planned beforehand. She took a gun, broke down a window and jumped out. She went to the street and took a cab home. Ted told Peabody she would go straight home to find her husband. When she got home, she noticed Mike had been kidnapped. She carried her pet dog and her husband's spider in a bag. She saw the CIA agent coming, so she jumped through the window to a neighboring apartment. She entered the apartment, dropped her pet dog with the little kid there, changed her clothes, and kept running. She was grounded by Peabody. She ran to escape from him, but she was later caught. She screamed she wasn't a spy and she was being set up. Ted tried to talk on her behalf and told Peabody the Russian agent may be lying. Peabody asked Salt to surrender, but she jumped down onto a moving train. She jumped from train to train. She tried to escape. Ted had no other choice but to call the Secret Service on her. They sent words to New York where the funeral would be held and sent her profile to New York. Salt escaped into a club. She treated her injury and bashed out. She took a train to New York. On the train, she remembered the day she was released from North Korea and how she told her husband he wouldn't be safe with her. Mike knew she was an agent, but he chose to love her and be with her. She checked into a hotel under another name and stole some clothes on the way to her room. When she entered the room, she unpacked her bag. The bag contained weapons she might need. She dyed her hair into black color. On the funeral day, the whole environment was locked down by the security. Ted and Peabody were there. They secured the whole perimeter. When the program started, Salt was on a train. The train wouldn't stop at the train station she wanted, so she set up a smoke on the train and jumped out. She sneaked into the location through the utility tunnel. She killed the unit officers she met, and when Peabody was notified that some unit officers were missing, he left the funeral down to the utility tunnel. Salt threw a bomb at the funeral, thereby letting the Russian president fall right in front of her. She shot the president. Peabody was there and she had the leverage to kill him and escape, but she didn't. She was arrested by the New York police. When she was brought out, Ted told him he would ensure she riots in prison for her act. He confirmed that Peabody was right about Salt, but this time around, Peabody hesitated because he realized Salt had the leverage to take him down, but she didn't. She was taken away in the police van. While she was in the van, she remembered she had a childhood in Russia and she remembered the day they changed her face. She attacked the police, caused an accident and escaped in the pandemonium. She stole a hat and took a boat. In the boat she remembered the day Oleg brought her to the American embassy and told her she would work at the CIA. That day, Oleg told her he would come for her whenever he needs her. She took the boat to the Russian sleeping agent's hideout. While on her way, she heard the news that the Russian agents are ready to retaliate for the death of their president, and the anti-American protest had started in Russia. When she got to the camp, she was welcomed by Oleg. He hugged her, told her she shouldn't have gotten married at all, and she kidnapped her husband to be sure if she was still to be trusted. He took her to her husband and told her if she can watch him get killed. They killed Mike by drowning him in water. Salt's emotionless look made Oleg believe she was back. The whole agent welcomed their sister back. Oleg took her to his office and told her next mission is to meet up with a NATO agent named Comrade Edward. After she got the mission, she killed Oleg and the other agents. She looked at her husband's dead body in the water and remembered her wedding day. She went to a plane to meet Comrade Edward. He was one of the kids at the training center and in fact someone who Salt was close to then. He told her the mission was to kill the president. He told her the location of the president and said his mission was to ensure the president was at the location. They got to the White House. Salt disguised as a NATO agent and was allowed inside with Edward, who told her he is sure there are other agents with the president and their mission differs. Salt asked for his mission and he said his mission was to go home. When the president arrived, the Secret Service interviewed Ted and he told them he saw Salt around the White House, so he was allowed to escort the president. Before the president entered the elevator, Edward shot at the president and he was shot. He triggered the bomb inside him, and everywhere was blasted. When Salt saw what was happening, she removed the mask on her face and jumped into the elevator. At the president's bunker, reports were given to him that the Russians had deployed nuclear weapons to the field. To retaliate, he ordered that the Americans' nuclear weapons should be triggered. He took control of the weapons. Outside the bunker, Salt attacked and fought all the security. When Ted saw Salt was already outside, he took the gun, shot all the secret security agents in the bunker with the president, and ordered the president to sit down. Ted revealed himself as Tarkovsky, another KI agent. He asked the president to direct his missile to another location, but he refused, so Tarkovsky incapacitated the president. Salt was by the window. She realized Ted was a KI agent. She asked why he didn't tell her. He replied he tried to, but there was no opportunity. Tarkovsky targeted the missile towards Mecca and another Muslim country. He told her they planned to kill billions of Muslims so the Muslim country would retaliate and destroy America completely. Salt asked him to let her in so she can help him. He refused. Just then, the news showed that the president wasn't dead. He was shot with a spider string, which was why he collapsed and his breathing stopped. Tarkovsky knew Salt had betrayed them. He said he knew they would be betrayed. That was why he asked Oleg to visit the CIA office that day. They had to expose her as an agent so they can make her take the full blame for the nuclear attack. He said he was the one that asked Oleg to kidnap Mike. She informed him Oleg and the whole agents were dead. He happily accepted it and said now he would be the hero and Salt would be the traitor. The nuclear launch was proceeding at 99% and it was about to launch. Salt broke into the bunker, fought with Tarkovsky, and tried to stop the launch. The Secret Service was able to break into the bunker. They asked everyone to kneel but Salt ran to stop the launch. She was shot. Tarkovsky pretended as though he was the one stopping the attack. Salt was arrested. Peabody was informed that everyone in Oleg's hideout had been killed and they asked forensics to search for the killer. Tarkovsky sat towards the walkway Salt would pass. He brought out a knife to kill her, but she was faster than him. She used her handcuff chain to strangle him and he died. Salt was evacuated by the CIA. Peabody sat in front of her. She told him Ted knew about Oleg, and she was the one that saved the country. She insisted that if she wanted to kill the president or kill him when she killed the president she would have done it without blinking an eyelid. Peabody informed her that even if he believed her, no one else would ever believe her. He got a message from the forensic that it was Salt who killed everyone in Oleg's hideout. He pretended to slap Salt and used that opportunity to unlock her handcuffs so she can jump down. She jumped through the water. The plane searched the water and announced she was dead. While she ran through the woods, a voiceover announced that she was dead, and every other KA agent had been killed too. Thank you for watching the recap. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap. See you next time.